Hey guys, welcome back to another special episode. I am Otaku Mike. Today we're looking at, in my opinion, one of the most underrated anime of the early 2000s. We are looking at Blue Gender. It's a 26 episode anime plus a movie. So, imagine a world where humanity is no longer on Earth. They've gone to outer space. And Earth is basically overrun by these bug-like creatures called the Blue. And how should I say this? Our main protagonist wakes up 22 years after being put in cryosleep for, because he had a disease, and the only way they could think of to cure him was to put him in sleep, to cryosleep with other people who had the same disease as him, and wait to see if they could find a cure. Well, that cure never comes to fruition, because everybody on Earth, if you did not survive and go into outer space, you're basically dead, because these bug-like creatures called the Blue take over Earth. Nobody really knows where the Blue came from. All they know is they are a big threat to the world because they have taken over the Earth and basically almost destroyed it. No civilization really on the Earth. If you're still on the Earth, you're scavenging for scraps, basically. So, our group charged with rescuing Yuji and taking him to Second Earth. The main soldier in that, Marlene, she basically, has to take Yuji and basically keep him alive because they feel like whatever was inside Yuji can basically combat the Blue, and they have a chance of stopping the Blue. So basically, this story is about survival. The story is about readjusting to your surroundings. It's a big fish out of water story because Yuji is not familiar with the ways of this new society that has sprung up over the past several decades. People don't act like they used to, like back in his time, which is very interesting. This show pulls no punches. It gets very dark at some points. It's a very grown-up story. And no character is really safe when it comes to death. Even the two main characters at some point are close to death, basically. Like, you don't know if people are going to live or survive, which is very interesting. Like, this anime doesn't treat you like you're stupid. Like, it tells a very interesting adult story. Some of the subject matter is pretty intense when they talk about it and stuff. So how do they fight the Blue? Well, they fight the Blue with robots, with giant mechs, which is pretty intense. The fights with the Blue are intense and very enjoyable. This animation for this anime has held up so well, in my opinion. I haven't watched this show in probably 8 to 9 years, and it still holds up. And, one thing I really like about it is the dub still holds up too. They have an all-star cast. A lot of people from Dragon Ball actually are in this cast as well, because I believe this was dubbed around the same time as Dragon Ball, or close to the time as like Dragon Ball Z. And one thing I really like about this is the theme song, or the opening. especially because they dubbed it in, I think they dubbed it in English. It always gets me pumped up to like watch the next episode because these episodes can get really, really dark. Because they're just trying to survive. I mean, like, they go day to day trying to survive. Another thing I like about this anime is you actually see character growth from the characters. We get Yuji, who was basically a scared guy, fish out of water, who didn't know how to do really anything, becomes this basically confident person who is able to take on the blue and to jump in the fight with Marlene, which is very interesting. This anime does have a romance element to it as well, which honestly, that part also goes into Marlene's character growth. and we start to, like, she starts to soften up a little bit, which is very interesting. They both know that they have feelings for each other, and the anime doesn't doesn't shy away from that, shall we say. It's a very grown-up approach to romance as well as just a very grown-up story in general. I don't recommend showing this to your children or young people. And you know, just if you're interested, go check this show out. It's a fun ride. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat. It's not that expensive. You can still find copies of this around, and Funimation usually re-releases it every couple of years. 10 out of 10 in my book. One of my favorite animes of all time. Go check it out if you're interested. And you want something different that's not your typical anime and that breaks, honestly, cliches in general. So yeah, I've been Otaku Mike. Thanks for watching. Go check out Blue Gender. It's one hell of a ride.